feel sad. It was a tragic loss. I mean, it's a horrific moment, but you know we're going to stand strong. We're going to stand strong, mourn them, represent them, celebrate them.
In Harlem, a sea of candles are flickering in honor of Roy Hodges, a letter carrier hat in the middle, a tribute to the post office employee who lost his life ordering lunch.
I don't have the words to describe the feeling. You know, I left home. I live in Long Island City. I came over here to light a candle for him. Yeah, so that's what it means to me.
The police say Thursday afternoon that Hodges was working and stopped into a deli on Lenox Avenue and West 118th Street to get something to eat.
Moments ago, a judge ordered a woman charged with murdering a postal worker in Harlem to be held without bail. 24-year-old Jaia Cruz was arrested last night. She's accused of killing 36-year-old Ray Hodge III after a dispute inside a deli. Tonight, the victim's friends are speaking out. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Janice Yu.
Several lit candles sit in front of Joe's Grocery in Harlem, a small reminder of the senseless violence that claimed the life of 36-year-old Ray Hodge Thursday afternoon. Meantime, friends and family lit dozens of candles at the Mott Haven houses. His friend tells Eyewitness News he grew up with Hodge. He says the 36-year-old took his kids to school every morning, took care of his mother, loved sports and music. He says he could have never imagined Hodge would be killed in such a senseless manner.
Honorable, stand up. Now, I mean, integrity, morals, principles. He was one of the good young boys we had out here, you heard?
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So we have another tragic story coming out of New York City. A US postal worker has lost his life at the hands of somebody who decided to pull out a knife and stab another person simply over a dispute about who was next in line. So 36-year-old Ray Hodges simply went to get lunch. While on his break, ends up getting into a disagreement, altercation with somebody, and now another person has lost their life senselessly. Seeing his colleagues there pay tribute to him is absolutely devastating. I think I first heard this story on X and it was reported as a woman has stabbed somebody, and I'm thinking, you know, New York City again. We're hearing this almost every day of some sort of violence happening there, crimes happening there. And the first thing I'm thinking is, you know, it's out of control. Something needs to be done about crime in New York City. But obviously it struck me that this is a young woman, I believe, 23? She just pulls out a knife and takes somebody's life over a sandwich or something? Like, what is going on? That's the first thing I thought.
Well, Sandra, during the last hour, we've spoken to a friend of this person of interest in custody, a friend of the alleged assailant. This friend says that this was self-defense. We'll get to that in just a moment. But first, let me take a step out of the way to show you where this happened. This is 168 Lenox Avenue in Harlem. It's that deli right there, and his postal cart is still sitting here on the sidewalk. According to police, an on-duty postal worker was stabbed. Officers responded to this location at 2:38 this afternoon and found the postal worker, a 36-year-old man, stabbed and slashed multiple times in his torso, arms, back, and neck. This appears to have been a dispute between two customers that turned physical. The 24-year-old person of interest was taken into custody. This person, we're told, has no obvious criminal record. We're also told a weapon has been recovered. Now back to that friend of the person of interest in custody. To be clear, she does not know what happened or why it happened, but she says it's not in her friend's character to have attacked someone without a reason. She says she wouldn't have hurt someone unless provoked. Let's take a listen.
This is just a bad neighborhood. What had happened, I have no idea because I was not around here. I don't know, but I do know if she said it was in self-defense, it was in self-defense.
A postal worker was killed and one woman is under arrest this morning. Let's get right to Good Day's Briella Tomasetti. She is live outside that bodega in Harlem. And Briella, investigators believe this all started over who was next in line to order at that deli.
Yeah, Tashani and Dan, good morning to both of you. All literally over a sandwich. That woman, the suspect identified this morning as 24-year-old Jaia Cruz. She has been charged in the murder of 36-year-old Ray Hodges, who, was killed on the job yesterday. He was stabbed to death here in the deli behind me in Harlem. Now, Cruz could be arraigned on second-degree murder charges as early as today. Let's get right to her being escorted out of the 28th precinct yesterday. It happened shortly before midnight. Cruz was covering her face with a black hooded sweatshirt and avoiding questions from reporters. According to police, the attack happened inside Joe's Grocery on Malcolm X Boulevard and West 118th Street at about 2:30 yesterday afternoon. Hodges, an on-duty postal worker, was found with stab wounds about the body and rushed to Harlem Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Police confirming with us this morning that the stabbing followed an altercation over a spot in line and that a knife was recovered at the scene. Neighbors tell us they ran into Hodges all the time on his daily route and are in complete disbelief that this even happened.
I know the guys who deliver milk, and just like that, he's gone. It's very scary. Anytime you wake up, anything can happen. You can just, like they said, it's an argument, so you can just say hello to somebody and you stab. Something like that. It's disheartening, to say the least.
Cruz lives just down the street from this bodega, while Hodges lived up in the Bronx. We are still waiting on word in regard to her arraignment, when exactly that will happen.
And this employee tells us that it seemed as though Hodges was here first, and then Cruz crossed in front of him, and it sparked a whole argument. Here, take a listen to what he said.
I separate them. The male guy in the front, the lady, she was in the back. She's spilling him in his face, and male guy, he get mad because she split him. So he was lemon juice mixed with a coffee machine. He throw on her. So she took the knife. This is so bad. This is my first time I see this happening from my face.
So you heard from the witness there. The witness said that Cruz pushed in front of Hodges, and I believe he said that this person spat in the victim's face. Obviously, that's going to make anybody mad. The witness said that Hodges poured water over this person, or lemon juice over this person. Again, understandably so. And now Cruz pulls out a knife. So as far as I'm concerned, based on this information, this person is a menace and should not be on the streets, going around terrorizing people. And when they defend themselves, stand up for themselves, you pull out a knife. That's what it sounds like to me, based on that one witness account. But now this person is claiming self-defense, which is why it's so important that this story is reported accurately. Because it turns out that this person is male. Jaia Cruz is male, a man who identifies as a woman. This person is not a woman. This person is not female. This wasn't a woman who stabbed somebody in a deli, but that's how the local news, that's how the mainstream media is reporting it. And it turns out, when you look on conservative-leaning outlets, they seem to be the only ones mentioning the word transgender. So we're just going to straight up now attribute crimes that have nothing to do with women to women, because the person identifies as a woman, supposedly. You see this person being escorted by police. This person is very tall, conveniently covering his face. I don't know what sort of world we're living in where the press can just print lies. This person is claiming self-defense. So when you say a woman pulls out a knife at a deli after a dispute, that sounds a lot different from saying a transgender woman, who everybody knows is basically a man who identifies as a woman. It makes a huge difference, especially when the person is claiming self-defense. When people hear that, it does actually create an image in people's minds. So New York Post has transgender in their headline. So straight away you know that this person is male. But when you go to NBC, US Postal Service worker fatally stabbed inside New York City deli, reportedly over food dispute. A New York City woman was arrested in connection to the alleged fatal stabbing of a US Postal Service worker inside a Harlem Deli on Thursday, authorities say. Now, New York Post, it reports that it was the police who told them that this was a transgendered woman. But we don't see that anywhere else. Fox News as well says transgender woman. Did the police only tell this to New York Post? Maybe. But nowhere else are they saying that this person is transgender so far. Hopefully that will change, because this is misleading. It's false information as far as I'm concerned. And we heard the reports there, the actual local news as they reported it. They were saying woman. Again, the word transgender was not mentioned. The word male was not mentioned, or assigned male at birth. You know how they talk. That wasn't mentioned. This is insane. I'm tired of this. Attributing crimes of these disturbed individuals to women. The public have a right to know all the details, especially people in the local community. They have a right to know all the details. So they've published a photo where the person's full face is showing. It's as clear as day. So the press has been reporting that a New York City woman brutally stabbed a man to death in a Harlem Deli. But Jaia Cruz, previously known as Alvin J. Cruz, is a man. The trans social media influencer has a history of violence and is accused of stabbing US postal worker Ray Hodges to death on January 2nd. Apparently this person has been arrested multiple times, about 5 times. In July 2020, Cruz was caught waving an open box cutter at another person in Midtown West and shouting, "I am going to cut him," sources said. Cruz was ordered to get on the ground but refused. Cruz was then pulled away by officers and busted for resisting arrest. Just 2 weeks later, Cruz was arrested again for a 4:30 a.m. tag team robbery. Cruz and another individual used knives to steal a man's phone and wallet after the victim invited the pair to hang out. The repeat offender, who has been described by cops as a transgendered woman, now faces murder charges for the brutal killing of Ray Hodges. So this person robs somebody, this person resists arrest, this person is carrying a weapon and is still out on the streets. Still out on the streets, and now eventually the inevitable happens where this person actually uses their weapon that they're walking around with and takes somebody's life. There's another story going around at the moment about a man who is stabbing people on the subway. He's currently at large. They're looking for him. And this guy had 53 prior arrests. Why is he out and about on the streets? He's been arrested 53 times. It makes no sense. They don't care about protecting lives and protecting people, innocent people, from these criminals. They release them back onto the street time and time again. And a lot of people who have lost their lives, a lot of people who have been severely injured. I mean, there was a man who was pushed onto the subway as well recently. Thankfully, he survived by some miracle. But all of this could have been prevented if these criminals were kept off our streets, especially when they have committed multiple crimes. At some point, the law has to say that you've had your chance upon chance. Now you've run out. But it's as if they never run out of chances. And now we have children who are left without a father, traumatized postal workers, knowing that their colleague's life was taken when he went off to get lunch. And the press are covering up for this person. The press are covering up for this person, saying that this person is a woman. No, this person is not a woman. We're talking about a man here who brutally stabbed somebody. Report accurately. I'm so sick of the media painting these people out to be the vulnerable ones. The fact is, a lot of these people are entitled. They go around thinking the world owes them something. They go around dictating how people speak, and the media is enabling this. A black man was brutally stabbed, but all the media seems to care about is honouring this person's gender identity. When it comes to reporting stories accurately, the press have their priorities all wrong. The bias is ridiculous. When it comes to protecting gender ideology, that seems to overtake everything, even facts that people have a right to know, that people have a right to be privy to. And you wonder why people don't trust the media? You wonder why people get most of their information from X? Yes. And according to these documents obtained by Andy Nago, the NYC Department of Corrections has marked this person down as female. So is this person going to be put into the women's section of the jail? A 6'4" male kills a black man at a deli, and all the press care about is honouring pronouns and misleading people, covering it up, because we don't want to attribute violence to a certain group of people because that doesn't fit the narrative. And I dread to think about this person being in a federal prison with women. But by the time everything, goes down when it comes to the charges, when it comes to a trial and everything, Trump will be in office. So I doubt he's going to allow federal prisoners to be in the facility that aligns with their gender identity as opposed to their biological sex. So let me know what you think. This is unbelievable to me, it really is. So again, my condolences to the family of Ray Hodges, to the colleagues of Ray Hodges, who speak very highly of him. You were doing a wonderful job honouring him and honouring his memory. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. Take care of yourselves, and God willing, I will see you in the next video.